Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 on the PS5. As you can see, I've been playing a little bit of Haas in the background. Yeah, we are back with round 6 of Season 2 here on our Mercedes career file. Well, I say Mercedes career file. Our career file currently at Mercedes. We will obviously be moving to a new team at the end of the season. Just don't know which one yet. Time will tell. But we are making short work of this season as things go. We have had a very dominant start to the season. 1-2s in every race so far, including the sprint at Baku as well. And now we head to Imola for our first ATA race of the season, of which there are 2, the other one being Hungary. The ATA is the alternate tyre allocation qualifying format, where we have one set of hards in Q1, then we go on to mediums for Q2, and then softs for Q3. And I'm thinking this is going to be a very, very easy season if things continue the way things are going. And so we haven't really been that challenged yet. Let's take a quick look at where our car sits in terms of performance. We've got 9 days to go until the Grand Prix, so this might change if some teams bring some upgrades to Imola, and I get a feeling at least 1 or 2 teams will probably have one upgrade of some kind. But we're currently 2nd in top speed, 10th in acceleration, 1st in DRS still, and then pretty good in the downforce. As you can see, we're 3rd and 2nd at the moment, as opposed to the 1st like we were earlier. So let's advance a little bit of time. Let's just check we've got parts going. As you can see, we've got a new underfloor design going. That's 31 days away yet, so we've still got a way to go until that's ready to start being built. We've got 3 research projects on the go: a new rear wing, a new front wing, and a chassis, all prepped for Mercedes next season. And we have plenty of slots available if we do need to make any more stuff. We've got more suspensions coming, side pods, and front wings. Let's have a quick look at the warehouse. Chassis, we have 3 of the Mark IIIs, that's installed on both cars. Front wings, we are working on the Mark III at the moment, I believe. That should be ready in time for the Grand Prix. Rear wings, we've got plenty of the Mark IIs. Side pods, again, we're working on those. Might have those ready for both cars in time, I'm not sure. Underfloor, we have 2 of the current spec, and obviously it'll be about 6 weeks in time till we get the new spec on both cars. And again, we're working on some suspensions at the moment as well. So, yeah, everything that we need is taken care of just there. So yeah, let's advance a little bit of time. Let's say hello to the chat as well. We've got George Patkins, Mr. Watter, good to see you guys. Marcel, Victor, Baron, Horrific Gamer, good to see you all. And we've got a report. What are we missing? There we go. That's the email that was missing. The April upgrade or update. So Haas have upgraded their race sim, and Christian Horner is saying we're not doing as well as we should to be. And I am quite pleased by that. My irrational hatred of Red Bull continues. Right, I'll try to have a quick nosy at our facilities as well. Actually, there's no point looking. We've only got 39,000 in the bank, so we can't afford to do anything else. So let's just advance the time. We have a response required. Sponsor VIP experience. Ooh, this could be some extra money coming our way. Side pod warning, suspension warning, we know about those, they're on the way. Been considering ways to encourage sponsor support for the team by bringing them closer to the action at F1. To that end, I propose we invite one of our sponsors to a special VIP experience for the upcoming Grand Prix. So we would basically get a triple payout if we successfully achieve a guarantee on our sponsors, and a double penalty if we fail. Yeah, we're going to go for that. We should hopefully rake in some extra cash quite nicely. Horrific is Teofik. What prompted the name change? Anything in particular? More stuff in the inbox. Race preview. Race prep. Oh, it's race day. Okay, let's go to race prep. So we'll start by setting our targets for the weekend. Actually, no, before we do that, let's check the cars. So quickest way to do this is just through the warehouse itself. So, yep, chassis are good. Front wings, we've got plenty of front wings. Let's get that installed on both cars. So you can see the difference there. It's adding a little bit of extra downforce and dirty air tolerance over the previous spec, but it is having a slightly negative impact on the brake cooling as a result of those changes. That's okay, we can live with that. Rear wing is fine. Side pods, did we get 2? We did. Just gotta hope we don't damage these side pods now. So again, there you can see the difference between the 2 specs of side pod. We're getting a slight bit of speed, a little bit of extra downforce, and a significant amount of engine cooling as well, an extra 5%. That's quite nice. Underfloors, and did we get enough suspensions made? We got enough for 1 of each. Let's go ahead and install and just hope we don't damage one. Should be okay. So now we've done that, let's take a look at where our car actually sits. So we're now the fastest car, and our acceleration has slightly improved as well. DRS still best, back to top rank in the downforce. Our dirty air tolerance is down to 5th. Brake cooling first, engine cooling's improved to 10th, and total extra weight is first as well. We've stripped quite a lot of weight out of this car, which has made some of the parts a little flimsy, so they don't last more than a couple of races, unfortunately. Right, now we can set our race targets. Now we know exactly what the car is going to be like in terms of its potential. So we should be able to get to in the top 3. We're looking at a triple reward on that if we can achieve that. So about 870,000 in that region. Is that right? Yeah. Both into Q2. That's worth an extra 360 grand, give or take, 350 something. Fastest lap, that's an incentive, no bonus on that, same as our get to into Q3. The guarantee, we are going to try and guarantee a 1-2, which is worth 336 and will be worth just under $1 million. Well, actually, no, just over $1 million if we get it. And then the finish position streak, 1 in the top 6 for 2 races. We're halfway through that incentive. Let's start a new guarantee on a quali streak. We'll be slightly more conservative on this, and obviously we won't get a triple payout on this. Because it's not going to get confirmed today. Oh, if only we managed to achieve this guaranteed streak today, that would be nearly 10 million we would get potentially, assuming that it does actually include that. We'll have to pay attention next time we get one of these VIP experiences and see if we can actually complete a streak guarantee on the same race.
Welcome along to Italy, and welcome along to Imola. Just outside Bologna in northern Italy, Imola hosts the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, named after the region it sits in. Surrounded by woodland, this iconic track is rich with Formula One history and the legends of those who raced here. And it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello and should see plenty of action. How will the British driver George Russell fare this weekend? He was sensational in the last race. He took home the win and set the bar very high indeed. Sit tight then for the rest of the action.
Evening Andy, evening real Aussie Potato, who is crying because he's broken his last charger. What a shame. Any old USB cable should do, unless you've got an iPhone or something with a lightning cable that's a little bit less generic. Right, let's Let's have a look. So, who did we put in the car? I think we took Russell out in Miami, didn't we? So let's take Lewis out for Teo tonight. Car parts damaged, engine's a bit low. Why is the engine low here and the ERS low compared to... Okay, not quite sure what's going on here. There we go, let's swap in the knackered engine from Lewis's big crash. That's, yeah, he's looking at penalties at some point this season. That's pretty much a given. Wiped out an entirely brand new gearbox in the process. Not pleased about that. Car setup, right, what do we want for Imola? Got a few options available again. I'm going to go with a 613, a 64, a 3.5 and a 0. And again, we're going to overfuel Teo's car just in case we do knock the setup out the park in the first attempt. 26 laps should be enough. Got to change the tyres. We'll go with 7 mediums. That is that car done. So let's look at car 1. Engine is changed. That's changed. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's what the engine ended up with at the end of the Grand Prix. Okay, I'm caught up now. Brain's working again. Car setup. Let's go slightly different with this one. We'll go 7, 12, 5, 3, 7, 3.5 and a 0.1. So moving the roll bar in a very different direction on this one. And we'll go 20 laps and drop the pace. And we will stay on the hard tyres as well. Right, that is everything we need to get done. So let's send them to the track. Something fishy going on. Why is everyone changing the name? I don't know, but if Farah turns up and he's renamed himself as Lewis Hamilton's #1 fan, I will absolutely blow snot. Alright, there we go. So, is anyone running a reserve? Let's have a look. Apart from us, obviously. Aston are not. Nor AlphaTauri, nor Haas, nor Williams, Red Bull no, McLaren no, Ferrari no, Alpine? No. Just us.
Gives a balance check.
Right, updates on feedback for Teo is average. So we'll call the car in. As Leclerc has a little wobble.
And it was involving Leclerc this time. And just running wide. Fighting.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Right, let's see what changes we need to make here.
Just
I'm
say what
guessing
you
rear
like
wing
on
and
the
roll bar
balance.
are the main culprits.
Very, very good job, guys.
Rear wing and roll bar,
Excellent.
and front wing as well. Oh wow, okay, big changes needed here. So, let's go 6.5. Hmm. 12.5. Let's go to a 4.6. 3.5 and 0. Let's have a look. That's not enough of a change. So, I'm going to break out last year's book. Take a quick look at our Imola setups for last year. Have I got anything that kind of fits the situation? Not really. I've got a 7.5, 12.5, 4.6, 3.5 and a 1. Let's have a look at that. That actually looks like that might be pretty close. So we'll go with that. We'll leave George out until he finishes his run. And there goes Teo back out on track. And here comes George. Right, let's have a look at this one. Didn't actually see what the feedback was. 81%. We need to change the roll bar and the the rear wing. So we'll go 6.5, 13. Let's go 5.5, 3.5 and 0. It's a little extreme on the roll bar, but everything else looks good. I'm going to go with that anyway, because I've seen sometimes the roll bar changes need to be more extreme than they would suggest. So I know that this setup here can generate a 100% result, so we'll try it out and see what happens.
Now we can see what happened. Look at the Mercedes. Oh, we've seen a few go off the track there. That won't do the floor of the car any good at all.
Well, I don't think he damaged it, but we'll check. No, he didn't damage the car. That's good. The car's had enough of enough damage inflicted on it over the last race or so. There we go. George on track. Teo complaining about tyres. Two of 5 on feedback. Still a bit of a way to go. Here we go. Getting close. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Nailed the setup for Teo. So let's pull them in. Save wear and tear on those parts. Let's just check this against the book. This should be a new one, I think. Yes, it is. So we'll add this in. $7.5, 12.5. 4.6, 3.5, and a 1 or a 0.1. There we go. So set up in the book. And now we're just going to wait for feedback from George. See if we've done the same with him. You really need to upgrade to this game. Yes, Andy, you do. It's definitely a worthy upgrade, I think, over the last one. There's still issues with it, and it still might be a little bit too easy for the very experienced player like myself, but
There you go.
you have the option of keeping it fresh with team switching this time around, which is always going to be good. We're at 92%, so we probably overcooked it a little bit on the roll bar. If we dial that back, that's probably the only real thing that needs to change. Just a couple of little tweaks here and there, but the biggest one is going to be changing the roll bar, I think. There we go, that is George heading back to the garage. Let's take a look then. Was it the roll bar? Yes, it was. Okay, so we will push that back to a 4.6. And then we can just correct our steering like that. And we do that. That is looking pretty good. There's a slight risk that we've broken the rear wing value there, but we'll find out in the next session. Alright, P1 is in the books. Time to put Lewis back in the car. Set him off for free practice 2. We will have the hard tyres. We'll go mediums for George. So George, we're going to run for 28 laps. And Lewis, we're going to run for 42 laps. There we go. So round and round they go again. Break open the drinks bottle. Bakir is here. Welcome, Bakir. All right, about to get some feedback from George.
Just check everything's okay.
Copy. We'll take a look.
Setup satisfaction is 95%, so still needs a bit of work. I think we did probably break the rear wing angle. We'll take a look at that. That's great. Let's take a look at it now.
I got damaged.
Oh no, we didn't break the rear wing, so we've just gone a bit too much on the front wing. Or maybe not enough. Let's try 7. Yeah, let's go with that. Have you got gearbox damage? Yes, Lewis, you have, because you totaled a car. Lewis, we know the car is bad. Please drive it. That's a very bad Toto impression there. So how was everyone's weekend? Did anyone do anything exciting? Anything dramatic? Or did you just melt in a puddle like I did?
It's not running smoothly.
Alright, take it easy, George.
Okay.
Just be mindful, pressure's still low.
Temperature broke a little bit today, where I am. Had a little bit of rain this afternoon. We're going to get more rain through the week, I hope.
Just say what you'd like on the...
It's not quite as unbearable today as it has been over the last few days. And there we go. We've nailed the setup on this time around. So that is excellent stuff. Let's keep Lewis out there a little bit longer if we can. We'll add this setup to the book as well.
Surface temps is still cool all round.
So 7, 13, 4, 6, 3.5, and a 0. There we go. 2 new setups in the book tonight. That's pretty good. Just got to wait for Lewis to run out of fuel.
So we have a checkered flag now.
Right, into the final session. We're going to go mediums again. We're going to save the softs because we might need them. ERS is really starting to give up already. Run plan, we're going to go 34 laps. That should be more than enough, I hope. And we'll go mediums again here as well. And let's see. Laps will be fine. Right, don't need to worry about setups. This is just about track time and car park knowledge now. Yeah, it's really hard to do an Austrian accent without making it sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger, just automatically.
We'll just have some PU cooling.
Yeah, copy.
I think Toto's Austrian. He might be German. I'm not sure. look. Ocon is again looking pretty quick. Gasly was top in practice 1. I didn't see what practice 2's board looked like, but Ocon's up there this time, so maybe the Alpines have brought a little bit of an upgrade. Let's keep George out a little bit longer. We're still waiting for Lewis to get his knowledge up. I would probably call them in early, but because we don't have full car part knowledge, we are going to be going in slightly under prepped or slightly under maximum prep, regardless of how well we do track knowledge. So it'll be something like 97, 98%, I think. About 96. Slightly worse than I thought. It's good enough though. And that's practice done for us. So now we just need to put the good stuff back in the car, power-wise, and head off to the first of our ATA qualifying periods. Mick having a little bit of a wobble. Coming out to the second chicane on the approach to Tosa. Sainz not looking quick. Down in 16th place. What is going on with Sainz this season? Alright, there we go. Nicely prepped drivers.
Will practice pay off for the drivers? Well, we're about to find out in qualifying.
This weekend, we're running on alternative tyre allocation rules, meaning teams will be constrained by the tyre compounds they can use for each period of qualifying.
Karun, if we could perhaps talk about Lewis for a moment. How do you think he's feeling?
I wonder if they're feeling the competition with their teammate right now. There's not much between them in terms of points, which is good fuel for a friendly rivalry.
Well, it's almost here. Qualifying coming up soon.
Alright. Out with the old engine, in with a new one. ERS units is gonna need replacing at some point this season anyway, I think. So we'll switch that over as well. Try and keep them on a par equipment wise. We'll go with a decent gearbox run as well. As for Lewis, choice is a little bit more limited already. Onto gearbox number 3. Yeah, got to make sure I've got money aside for those new parts, because we are going to need a couple of them pretty soon by the look of it. Right, we are ready for quali. We're going to do just a single flying lap to see what happens, and then we might go out and do another run. But I'm hopeful one lap on the hards will be enough to get us through. So getting out of Q1 should not be a challenge. It's just a question of whether we can get away with just a single lap or if we have to do a couple of laps. I think Hamilton got through without being held up there. Well, he's not being held up significantly anyway. Very close between our two still.
Get that delta negative.
113.6 for Russell. 113.7 for Lewis.
Just keep an eye on that delta.
How does that compare to everyone else?
Understood.
Oh, wow. Ocon and Gasly a lot slower than I was expecting. A few tenths faster than Sainz and half a second faster than Verstappen. So Sainz has found some pace for quali. Let's see what Leclerc can do. Perez as well. Perez goes P4. He's way off. Leclerc has yet to complete the time. There it is. 7 tenths off for Leclerc. Interesting. Okay, well, we are through. We're not likely to get knocked out at this point. Let's see who does. At the moment, Gasly's in the drop zone. Now, that is a shock. Let's take a look. Where is Gasly on track right now? Oh, he's in a rough spot as well. Oh, I say that. He's getting slipstream off a Red Bull. I don't think that Alfa Romeo would have done too much to slow him down. Get through. Yes, he can. Oh wow, he goes P3, albeit with a very generous slipstream from the back of that Red Bull, almost all the way around the lap there. So Bottas is out, along with Piastri, Ricciardo. Zhou still has a chance. He's coming up to the line now. I don't think he's going to get through. He does improve up to 17th, and he wasn't that far away in the end. Less than a tenth. There we go. So we're on mediums this time round. You can see this set here reserved for the race, and then we've got this one set here. Again, one lap should be enough. Let's see how we do. They should change the penalty rule for new parts. No, I mean, I understand why it's a big penalty for the first part and then smaller penalties for subsequent replacements of the same type of part. It penalises you for taking that first one, so you don't just take a strategic new engine for just, because you want fresh engine. It's a big drop in places. But it also doesn't over-punish you if you have, poor reliability. Yes, you still get a penalty, but if you take a, engine number 4, because you get your 3 engines. If you take a 4th engine, that's a 10-place penalty for that engine. And if you then subsequently have to take another one because of reliability issues still,
let's just focus on
or
Understood.
wiping one out in a crash that might not even have been your fault, then yeah, you still need to take a penalty. But there's only 5 places; it's less of an impact. So the first change of components is always just there primarily to discourage anyone from just swapping in a new engine because I feel like a little bit of extra power.
Just get that delta at negative.
What it might mean is if you change everything, you should have more than one race as a penalty. No, I don't think that's fair.
Stay tight on that delta. Box, and call the car.
I think the rules, I mean, there's always going to be contention over penalties, but I mean, they're fairly balanced, I think. Hamilton tops the leaderboard this time by just over a tenth from Russell, so they switch around the other way this time. Leclerc is looking a little bit quicker this time. Sainz again, looking potentially in trouble here. As he starts his flying lap, I think. No, he's on an out lap. Okay, so let's see if Sainz can do enough to get through. Because he's hanging on at the moment. I mean, look who's still on a flying lap. Magnussen, Hulkenberg and Verstappen. And Verstappen crosses the line and knocks Sainz into the drop zone. So it's going to be one of the Sainz, Ocon and Alonso that gets knocked out, I think. I think Ocon is on the lap. Or is it? Let's see, who is on the lap? No! So it's literally to see whether Sainz can knock out Ocon, or whether he gets himself knocked out. He needs to find about 2 tenths. You doing, Julian? A little bit of traffic at the end of the lap. Oh, that's not good. The Alpine gets in the way. I wonder if that's Ocon. Sainz got through. No! Sainz is out. Was that Ocon? It was. No. I don't know. That might have been Gasly. I think that was Ocon. But yeah, Sainz is out. So, once again, a disappointing result in qualifying for Ferrari. It really is not looking good for them. We're going to go with 2 flying laps. On these soft tyres. We'll get down to about 6 minutes or so on the clock. There we go. Drivers going out. So we'll watch George on the first flying run, and then we'll watch Lewis on the second flying run.
Good to go.
Clear track ahead.
There will be a bit of bunching. Good to go.
a not purple, just personal best. And there's always going to be a personal best in this first run. Lewis does go purple though. Nice and smooth through the chicane. Russell purple in the middle sector. Now Lewis goes purple. So Lewis looks to have the edge on his first flying lap. George crossing the line and goes P2. Hamilton goes to provisional pole. The Ferrari of Charles Leclerc is splitting our two cars right now. And I think he's there behind us. Oh no, wait, he's coming out behind Lewis. So who's that between? Oh, it's a Red Bull between us. Anyone else, or is it just that one car? It's just Verstappen between our two cars on track right now. We've got Stroll in front of George. Charles behind Lewis. We've got Alonso and Perez leaving the garage. Gasly on track. Ocon still yet to leave the pits. Here he comes now, and Tsunoda is in the top 10 as well. Didn't even notice that. And he's now leaving the garage just as everyone's coming around. So, yeah, expect maybe some shenanigans from Gasly and Tsunoda here getting in the way.
And circuit is all clear. Good to go.
So Hamilton absolutely nailed his flying lap, a 1:12.9 effectively. We're going to switch back to George because of that traffic up front. Nearly half a second slower on that opening lap. And we're improving in the first sector. What's my objective for this season? Win every race? Yeah, pretty much, I think, considering the start we've had. Yuki just about managed to get through without losing too much time there. Russell is improving, but Hamilton's flying. He is purple in the first sector again. More traffic. And that's Ocon. And that's a slight delay. Improvement in the middle for George, no improvement in the middle for Lewis. And it's not an improvement.
Currently P3.
So he did get held up enough.
Yeah, we're happy with that.
As Lewis goes purple in the final sector and just increases slightly, maybe.
So currently
I'm not
P1.
sure. Did he actually go faster on that lap?
So call the car and we'll box.
Understood.
I don't know if he went faster on that last lap or not. He did, ever so slightly. By 18 thousandths of a second. Where did Russell lose his time? That third sector wasn't amazing. 3/10 down on his previous run through that sector. Yeah. So George is going to start P3, and Leclerc will be on the front row between our two drivers. Even Farah, even Harmony. Yes, Andy, may as well try and go for an unbeaten season now. Win every race, seeing as how we blitzed the start of this season. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to try and carry this form across the rest of the year. Depends how much the other teams, you know, catch up.
The time has come to fight it out. It's race day.
Imola can really reward consistency, as Nigel Mansell showed here in 1992 when he became the first driver to ever win the opening 5 Grand Prix of a season.
Lewis there, getting himself ready for today's race. Karun, how's he going to be feeling at the moment, do you think?
I think it's really great to see them performing at this level, well above what we'd expected. They must be feeling good.
And seeing it all come together is sure to be a thrill. An exciting race ahead for us here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Yes, 1992. Mansell won the first 5 races in a row, and then went to Monaco and suffered a puncture while he was blitzing the field, and came out behind Senna on brand new tyres and pushed like crazy and was on him within a couple of laps, and then could not get past him, and Senna stopped Mansell from pushing that streak up to 6. Right, the one stop on paper is the quickest strategy, but I should have an extra set of softs, which I do, which now makes this about the same. And this is just extra pit stops for us to try and get really quick stops, so that will improve our chances of making sure we get first and second in the DHL Pit Crew Challenge. Plus it gives us a little bit more flexibility on tyres as well, so we're not taking them right down to the canvas like we are with the other ones. So we're going to go with the 2-stop strategy for both of our drivers. Going to start aggressively on tyres and fuel, but we're going to try and hold back on the battery if we can. What do I want to do with fuel? I think I want to take 4 laps of fuel out. Okay, so 3rd for George, 1st for Lewis. Let's see how things go for our drivers in today's Grand Prix.
Here in Imola, the drivers are ready to take on the 63 laps of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. This could be a big race for that man, right there, Lewis Hamilton.
They're on pole, and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Right, let's get to it then. The crowd are on their feet in anticipation of this, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, good solid start for both of our drivers there. We have jumped ahead of Leclerc, who's starting on hards. Oh, that just made our job so much easier. So, as per the rules of engagement, no attacking each other in the opening laps. Hold off on using the battery. Let's take a look at everyone else's tyres. Wow! The rest of the top 10 is all starting on hards. Okay, we've got a real chance to sprint away here without being chased down by anyone. Which is handy considering we're doing a 2-stop. Everyone else on those hards is definitely 1-stopping, I think. Just a question of whether they try and stretch them for softs or play a little bit more conservative and go for mediums. Also depends on whether we get a safety car or a VSC later in the race, which will maybe facilitate a change of the plan. Player looking very aggressive, not too worried about this at the moment. As I say, he's still burning everything. Tyres, fuel, battery. We're just kind of pushing the tyres, we're burning fuel, and we're not touching the battery yet. We're about to. Lap 3, we're going to sprint like crazy. But yeah, everyone in the top 10, apart from us, on hards. That was a surprise. Sainz in 11th on mediums. And Norris on softs with Albon, everyone else on mediums. Ooh, excuse me. Right, now it's time to really go for it.
Push and hold, overtake.
Copy.
So DRS activates on this lap, but because there's only one DRS straight, it won't actually technically become active until we do another lap.
Currently P1.
It'll be the end of this lap when we can actually pick it up for the first time. And so I want to open up a nice, healthy 2-second lead before then, if at all possible. Leclerc should be just about out of battery now, although they'll probably still be pushing tyres and fuel for another lap or so maybe.
Just reduce your speed.
Yeah, agree.
There's our 2-second gap.
Make sure to keep these tyres in good nick.
Understood.
Well, 2 seconds to Hamilton. Only 1.8 at the moment, but it'll be 2 by the end of the lap. For George. And next lap,
And you are the fastest on track.
the gloves are off.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Copy.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off the cliff on that tyre.
Yep.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
And just charge the pack.
Understood.
Trying to get the temperature down with these tyres just a little bit. This is partly because George has been running in the dirty air of Lewis in very close proximity for 4 laps. Now he's got clean air, those tyres should start cooling down pretty quickly. Lewis's might go up in temperature a little bit, while they're both on cool down. Russell's tyre temp's starting to drop now, getting them to a more manageable level. Once his tyres settle down, we'll put him back up to medium and then do the same with Lewis. Nice healthy lead right now, 3.7 seconds between Hamilton and Leclerc, and nearly 2 seconds further back is the pair of Red Bulls. Verstappen just ahead of Perez right now. And there we go, tyres are now sorted, so let's go back to standard tyre pace.
Let's push. Okay.
And assuming everything goes according to plan, this is hopefully going to be a very comfortable race for us again. And this is going to have to go back and watch the series from the start. Yeah, last season was a lot harder than this season. Had quite a few heartbreaking moments in the first half of the season, in particular. But Singapore was where everything just clicked. And we went on a bit of a storming run from Singapore onwards. Take a look at lap times. We are doing 1:17.9s, 1:18.5, depending on who's in the lead and who's getting overtaken on the main straight. But we're lapping half a second to a second faster than Charles Leclerc, and even faster compared to the Red Bulls, who just don't have that pace at the moment. That might be because they're scrapping each other. Let's keep an eye on Verstappen and Perez for a lap or two. Yuki is doing well in 6th. He's holding his own. He's only a couple of seconds off the back of the Red Bulls, which is pretty good. He's got a bit of a traffic queue forming behind him, though. Alonso, Gasly, Ocon, Sainz, and Stroll, and Norris, all pretty much within a second of each other. Stroll just about hanging off the back of the Ferrari. And then there's another couple of seconds back to Schumacher, then Hulkenberg and Bottas and Albon. Joe just about clinging on. So we've got a couple of little breakaways. Us being the main one. And then the two Red Bulls after the Ferrari. With a little cluster after that. From Tsunoda back to Norris. And then another little breakaway from Schumacher all the way back. Yeah, just piling it on right now, as you'd expect, considering we're on the better tyre compound. But as I say, for most, if not all of the field, are going to be one stopping. So we do have to make up an extra 20 odd seconds somewhere along the line to cover that extra pit stop. So at the moment, we're 5.5 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc. We need another 15 seconds to box and hold position for our extra pit stop. Watch from the back of Yuki's car. Oh, look at all those quick boys behind trying to find a way through. Williams is a pretty quick car in terms of speed. Just doesn't necessarily have the same downforce levels that it needs, but it's good to see Williams under a little bit of a renaissance under the AI here, not needing human intervention, as Alonso swarms all over the back of Yuki trying to find a way through there. Then we've got the two Alpines, then the Ferrari, and it looks like Stroll has just about been dropped now. Norris and Stroll a little bit further back. You just see them there at the back of the screen. Now let's change tack and ride on board with Sainz at the back of this little train of traffic. Another disappointing performance from Sainz in qualifying. Although partly unlucky because he was held up on his final flying lap by Ocon, the man who was trying to displace. And he's a little bit of a disadvantage here because he's at the back of a train of tyres, of hard tyre cars, and he's on mediums, so theoretically he should have extra grip to get through, but when you've got cars that are similarly paced and in a DRS train, even with better tyres, it can be very tricky to overtake. So this could be a very long, painful afternoon for Sainz here. If he can't make any real progress on these tyres, he is in massive trouble because everyone in front of him is going to go for another set. He's going to go for a set of softs or mediums when they make their one and only stop. He's going to have to stop before them and might have to go hards unless he decides to take on a two-stop. And if he keeps burning up tyres while he's stuck in the dirty air, he might have to transition to the two-stop. His tyres are actually worse. Well, I say worse. They're almost as at the same level of wear as our tyres. And we're on softs. So he has pushed them hard. They are overheating a little bit. And it looks like somebody up front is pushing a little bit. Tsunoda on a bit of a push to try and break away. Let's have a quick recap. 10 laps gone. We're on lap 11 now. Hamilton ahead of Russell, but the two are swapping places every lap. Got the gap up to 7.5 seconds over Charles Leclerc now. So we are gradually edging away from the Ferrari, who in turn is pulling away from the two Red Bulls. They're now 3.3 seconds behind. So, it's looking like that might be the podium. Hamilton, Russell and Leclerc. How come Sainz end up on the podiums anymore? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Sainz this season. 9th in the first two races of the season. Had a bit of a recovery in the next Grand Prix, but it's just been having a very inconsistent season. Of course, Sainz and Leclerc collided with each other in Baku in the main race. Took them both out. It's been a very strange, inconsistent season for Ferrari and Sainz in particular. Hamilton is continuing to frustrate Russell. Sainz isn't even looking like threatening an overtake at any point soon at the moment. Let's see, can he get a run to or out of the chicane? Needs to start making a move as Russell again fails to get an overtake done. Sainz is definitely closer this lap than he's been on a couple of previous attempts. You do feel that there is just more potential pace in this Ferrari than he's able to show right now. But with Yuki leading the way, the cars behind, you have to argue, on paper, are probably a little bit quicker. And he is just holding them up. But having said that, he's still only 3 seconds off the back of the Red Bulls, so maybe Yuki is there on merit. He's not holding anyone up that much. Maybe the pace of this pack wouldn't really improve that much if someone else was in front, as again Hamilton holds off George. Let's keep an eye on this for a moment. He's probably got the same pace as Charles. No, he doesn't. If he had the same pace as Charles, then he would have been right at the top of the pointy end of the grid in qualifying. Well, all these failed overtakes must be having an effect on George's confidence. Let's have a look. He's a little below starting confidence. Oh, Hamilton's in peak confidence right now. Probably because of all these defences that he's putting together. It will be interesting to see if the stats bear out for Hamilton. Like they did for George last season. Don't forget, this was George's, defensive pièce de résistance last year, where he went 50 something, was it 53 or 57? But a bucket load of successive defences. And he spent most of the race just blocking Perez over two different sets of tyres. He was a joy to watch last year. Right, can he make it through this time? Hamilton again covering the inside. George not committing to trying to go around the outside. So he's going to stay behind again. And we are approaching the pit windows. Hamilton has track position, so he will get to box first. Almost finished refilling the batteries as well. Fuel saving down to 4 kilos. That's not too bad. Right, where will we come out? Let's have a look. So we're looking to come out somewhere around the back of Sights / Stroll at the moment. The gap between these two now up to about 3 seconds. We do need to go a little bit quicker just to stretch that gap out. So let's up the tyre pace ever so slightly for both drivers.
So happy to push now.
Copy.
So that we can make sure that we get out ahead of Stroll. And then we will potentially have a bit of a problem on our hands if we come out at the back of the Sainz, Ocon, Alonso, Tsunoda scrap. Oh, Gasly has jumped to the front of that queue. Where did that come from? He's just got past Tsunoda in the braking zone and now he's using the DRS to break away. So Alonso has been passed by Gasly, who's now also jumped his way ahead of Yuki as well and is looking to try and push to get onto the back of the Red Bulls. 2 seconds to gap. Gasly is going for it. Right, we're almost done on the batteries, but I'm going to burn those now.
Push and hold, overtake.
Just to, again, try and widen that gap so we can jump some of this traffic. The less cars that are between us and Leclerc when we come back onto the track, the better.
Copy.
The Red Bulls just 1.3 seconds now. Definitely broken away from Yuki. He's been able to use that push pace of his to put it to good use. Russell has got ahead of Hamilton, which now means that Russell gets the nod. on tyres. In fact, it's probably better to box Russell anyway, because his tyres have been overheating a bit more, so there's slightly less grip available on those tyres. Let's see. Back into top up now.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
What's the gap? Okay, we're close.
Lewis, we're still in this
Not
race.
there yet, but we're getting close to being able to get out in front of Yuki. I am going to box George at the end of this lap.
Let's give it everything we got.
Yep.
So we're absolutely going to go flying on those tyres this lap. Actually, we're going quick enough that we can go an extra lap. So let's change that to pit next lap instead of this one. And then Lewis the lap after that.
Box, box.
Copy, box.
We're still going quick enough on these tyres. Continually stretch that gap a little bit more. On 18.2. These tyres are starting to really struggle a little bit now. But we're still doing about a second faster than Leclerc. 1:19.2 for him. About the same for Gasly, Tsunoda, etc. I'm working on the assumption that we need 20 seconds to get out ahead of someone in the pit. So it's some of the cars like Sainz seem to have upped their pace slightly. We are touch and go, I think, as to whether we can get out ahead of Ocon and Sainz and Alonso and Tsunoda. I don't know if we're going to be able to manage that or not. We will find out in just a moment. Russell dives into the pits. Is this going to hold up Lewis? No. It looks like they fixed that. Remember last year? Cars would slow dramatically when they were alongside the pit wall. You saw them boxing. Looks like they fixed that.
Just keep an eye on your mirrors.
That's good. I never even thought about that until it was too late. So, confirm Lewis into the box. 2 seconds stop for Russell.
So
Very
box.
nice. Now, where's he going to come out? Can we get out in front of Yuki? It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Not quite. Not quite. We came out right behind Ocon.
We're not worried about using the tyres up.
Understood.
Let's just manage those
That was
tyres.
very close.
Yeah, copy.
Let's get these tyres warmed up. We're already in DRS range. Nice. Lewis coming up to the box.
Okay, roger.
Good stop. 2.1. It's not bad. It's clean. Had a few dodgy stops
So
for
we
Lewis
fixed
over the
the
last few
track.
races, so that's nice to see. No sticky wheel nut this time. Russell is now up to temperature.
Just reduce your
And
speed.
George is going to be Woo! Is going to be behind Lewis. Lewis still needs to get these tyres up to temperature though, so he's vulnerable for the next few, for the next lap or so. But that's going to have a big knock on Hamilton's confidence. He's gone from being pretty much peak confidence to just above where he started. And Russell's down to medium confidence. He's really lost out in the old confidence stakes.
So anything could happen, Lewis. Let's just keep our heads down.
Lewis trying to go around the outside of Ocon. He's kept his car alongside. He's got the better grip. He is through, and we're going to follow him through.
Tyres in good nick.
Yep.
There we go. Ocon loses 2 places in the space of one straight there. Next up, Yuki. How far behind the car? We're only 10.5 seconds behind. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Lewis looks to get alongside Yuki. He doesn't quite manage it, but Yuki now is isolated. He has started dropping back. And I fear he is going to be very, very vulnerable. Is Russell still on aggressive tyres? No. You can see right in front. Although you might be a little bit behind us, Baron. So Lewis gets past Tsunoda. Can Russell follow through? No, he can't. Yuki closes the door. No team instructions, so this is just a straight fight to the finish. We're not going to get involved. We're going to leave them to it. So if one of them can get through quickly and the other one can't, that's tough. We won't artificially close them back up again. There is still another round of pit stops to come, don't forget, and plenty more traffic to overtake. So things can change very quickly. Yes, Lewis is almost broken away from Yuki here. In fact, he has broken away. So if Russell can't get him before the final corner, then he will easily have a DRS advantage on the main straight. Around the final corner. Struggling to get himself into position here. Yuki is blocking him.
There seems to be some great resistance.
Lewis is off and running. He's 2.5 seconds down the road. There he is. He's on the back of Alonso. George still cannot get past Tsunoda. What do I think of the track changes for this weekend? Well, at Singapore, I'm hopeful it will produce some better racing. It's creating another good overtaking opportunity. But we shall see. I haven't quite coded it right in the game, unfortunately. It is possible to overtake there, but it's extremely hard to do so in the game because everyone just lifts off and coasts for the second half of the straight. Right, come on, George, this time. Still no. And Hamilton has passed Alonso and is side by side with Sainz and gets Sainz. Hamilton is just flying right now. And Russell is really struggling here.
Now we're with Lewis Hamilton here. The opportunity begging to be taken.
Just swept round Sainz like he wasn't even there. And still, George cannot get past Yuki. Starting to see why Yuki was holding on to 6th place for so long. Just stubborn little bugger. Refuses to get out of the way. Here we go. Finally gets the move done. Dives down the inside. He's going to have the DRS. As Sainz dives into the pits. Of course, Sainz on medium, so still going to be a little while before the rest of the top 10 boxes because they're on hards. But Russell finally gets that move done.
Take a look now. It was George Russell involved. Can they squeeze by? And George Russell says thank you very much.
And Jim Bob says, about bloody time. Right, so what tyres has Sainz gone on? He's gone on to hards, as I expected him to. And we've lost his engine noise. Driving a milk float by the sound of it. Odd. There we go. Maybe that's why Sainz has not been doing so well this season. Maybe he's swapped out his engine for a Formula E car or something. Hamilton all over the back of Gasly right now. Russell has immediately blitzed away from Tsunoda, who's on the back of Alonso, but if he struggled to get past Tsunoda, he might have a rough time getting past a double world champion as well. See, can Hamilton quickly make work of Pierre here? Yes, he can. Straight round the outside of him. But George is going to do the same to Alonso, who's just flying straight past him. And that'll be a nice big confidence boost. So, that overtake gets George up to very, very high confidence. One more overtake should get him right onto the boundary of peak confidence. I think Lewis is already there. Yeah, Lewis is maxed out. And hunting down the Red Bulls.
Talk us through this one,
issue for Piastri.
The McLaren crew ready to jump in. But they can't get the tyre off.
And this is why you always use wheel nuts and not super glue. Hamilton is on the back of the Red Bulls. This could be a tricky double pass, or it could be a glorious moment. He's going in with maximum confidence here. And we've got a yellow flag. Oh, it's Russell. Oh, Russell.
Look at the Mercedes. No, why'd they go? Really, they must be careful.
And that has probably killed Russell's chances of winning the Grand Prix. It's destroyed his confidence. He's way down again. What's it done to his tyres? It's taken about 8% of the life out of those tyres. That's not great. Let's cool those down a bit. We can actually stop fuel saving now for a bit. That's Farah's evening over. And all that hard work that George has done has been undone. He's going to have to do it all over again. He's now back behind Stroll. But he is still ahead of Sykes. Although, 15 seconds, got to keep an eye on that. He does have to stop again. Sykes does not. Pit stop issue for Hulkenberg.
Talk us through this one.
So Hulkenberg pulled in.
Magnussen was right behind him.
But the car isn't released properly.
That's a long hold on the jacks there before Magnussen can get into the garage. And it looks like they were pretty quick and straightforward with Magnussen's stop there. So, disaster for Haas. Oh no, there was a pit stop issue for Magnussen as well.
This was Kevin Magnussen pitting.
Jacked again.
But they have trouble releasing the car.
Not quite as bad as it was for Kevin. As it was for Nico, but yeah, not good. Not good at all. Oh, speaking of Hulkenberg, he has apparently issued a come and get me plea to Sauber. He really wants to be part of the Audi setup, which didn't surprise me at all. I wouldn't be at all surprised as well if they make a move for Schumacher. I'm not saying it's going to happen, as Hamilton has got past both the Red Bulls.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Now we're with Lewis Hamilton here. The opportunity's
side by
there.
side, gets past Perez.
And that's second place now.
And then swoops straight past Verstappen at the same time as well. So brilliant double overtake for Lewis there. He is absolutely flying right now. Leclerc still has to stop, so we have eliminated the gap between Lewis and Charles, as we've got another yellow flag on track somewhere. Stroll running a little wide.
Now this one involves Stroll. Just a bit too wide at that point,
too much.
but all being well
Right.
and fingers crossed,
That's George
no
in the
lasting
background.
damage to the car.
Right, tyre temps are back under control. Oops. That's what I meant to look at. Right, let's up the tyre pace again for Russell. We might have to actually switch the strategy and do 2 stints on mediums. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Ideally, I'd like to maybe just go softs and look after the softs. But yeah, we've eliminated that gap between Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, and both drivers to make one more stop. I would imagine. Look at tyre wear. I imagine Leclerc is going to try and go for softs. The Red Bulls might have to box a bit earlier and go for mediums. Gasly's almost certainly going to try and go for softs, given his tyre wear. We shall see. Let's go back to George. Oh, here we go. We've got another double stop. Never a good idea. No, it seems to have worked out okay for Alfa Romeo. Didn't really work out for Haas. Yeah, if you don't have a good pit crew, you don't want a double stack, because if your front car has an issue, it affects both of your cars, as we saw beautifully illustrated there by Nico Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. Magnussen's now down in 20th as a result of that, as Hulkenberg starts to try and fight his way back through some of this traffic. Yeah, a lot of time lost for Hulkenberg, and even more time lost for Magnussen, who had his own Jack's issue on his stop. So he lost so much time. Russell now about a second and a half behind Stroll. Tsunoda's still up there, he's still in the train. Gasly's long gone, he's 5.5 seconds up the road, but Alonso, Ocon, Tsunoda, Stroll still clinging together as a train. Gasly has joined and stuck to the back of the Red Bulls. And we are almost there with the batteries. Right, George has got his confidence back up to medium. Still going to take a little bit of work, so we're going to have to intervene just a little bit here with George, just to try and get his confidence back up a bit. So we'll put him into overtake.
Yeah, Roger.
There we go, that gets his confidence back up a bit more. We get past Yuki. And that should get him into high confidence. Just about, although we have given Tsunoda the DRS, I think. Right. No, we got the DRS. We're getting past Gasly. Sorry, we're getting past Alonso and Ocon. I was going to say Alonso and Osso for a minute then. It's that well-known racing duo of Alonso and Osso. Here we go. So that's got him just into very high confidence. Getting him past Alonso will be a point where we can then go, okay, our work is done. We can go back to leaving George to run autonomously. Even though we're not going to interfere in the, directly in a fight between our two drivers, we still want to make sure we get 1-2s, especially considering the triple payouts on the VIP stuff this weekend as well. And we promised a 1-2, so we better deliver it. And there we go, we killed the battery, but we got George up into 6th place. We got his confidence up very nicely into high confidence, which was the important thing. And now we can leave him to it. As we switch our focus back to the front of the field to watch Lewis taking on Charles Leclerc.
Keep plugging away.
Gap back to Verstappen's now, 10.9 seconds. That's a pretty healthy gap. And Leclerc blocking Lewis again. Some good defending going on here from Charles Leclerc. Lewis is going to sweep around the outside though. Oh no! Leclerc closed the door on us. Oh, we got a yellow flag. We've got a crash. As Alonso and Ocon both come into the
We've got
pits.
a yellow flag here.
And is that Yuki? No, that's De Vries. De Vries and Joe. Oh no, sorry, Ricardo. Not De Vries.
And you
De Vries
can
doesn't
just
drive in
feel
Formula
the
1. I
frustration
forgot.
from the team watching on the monitors.
Okay, medium tyres for Alonso. That's pretty much expected. Gets out still ahead of Ocon, who has also gone to mediums. I would imagine if the Red Bulls are going mediums, they're going to box pretty soon. Leclerc's been pushing his tyres really hard to try and stay ahead of Lewis, so they've worn down a bit. Maybe he will have to go mediums as well. We've got another yellow flag. Another
There's been a
multiple car
crash.
crash. And it's Yuki and Stroll. Stroll just pushed him off.
It's not going the way that...
Yuki gets on the radio and says he fucked up, but I don't know. I think that might have been more Stroll's fault. No penalty's been issued though, so it must have been deemed a racing incident. Hamilton and Leclerc swapping places, the side by side. Lewis gets the DRS open, and that is in, off, and into the distance. Confidence back to maximum peak confidence again. As Verstappen boxes. Medium tyres for Verstappen. Yuki is in. Did he sustain any damage? As Lewis goes purple in the first sector. He is on a flyer right now. Good stop for Yuki. Where's George right now? He's on the back of Perez and Gasly as they are scrapping third place. Lewis has already got the gap up to 1.5 seconds over Charles Leclerc. Do need George to get a bit more of a wriggle on. Needs to be using these tyres to their fullest while he still has that grip advantage. If he wants any hope of getting second place, which I think we did promise a 1-2, didn't we, with the sponsors? Yeah, we did. We have to intervene again. Put him in high aggression as well. I always leave him in medium when they're fighting each other. Less chance of a dodgy overtake attempt taking out both of our cars. But you know, when they're fighting other traffic, we can be a little bit more aggressive. Less collateral damage if we do have an accident. Killed the battery. That's not good. Come on, find a way through. Oh, there we go. That's one way to find a way through. Wait for him to box as Leclerc boxes as well. Now, this is the important one. He's boxed onto mediums. And so is Perez. Stroll coming in. set of mediums for Stroll. So, yeah, we are a long way off the back of Leclerc. These tyres aren't going to be that quick anymore, especially not in comparison to Leclerc on brand new mediums. So we've got a choice. We can either accept that we are unlikely to catch Leclerc, play it safe and go for mediums, or we can go for broke, which is what I'm leaning towards, and that's keep pushing these tyres as much as we possibly can and go for softs and hope that we've got enough pace to try and claw Leclerc back. Oh, we got a VSC. Oh, in that case, we are boxing now. And we're going mediums. We're going to play it safe. That VSC... Oh, wait. His tyres are used. Alright, we'll just have to look after these softs. We'll call them in now. We'll keep them on the softs. We'll just have to protect them. Lewis has already gone through. Oh, it's a red flag.
So red flag.
Oh, wow. I was all ready to nip in for a sneaky pit stop there, and it's a retirement. It's Perez. Oh, that's a big hit in the wall. Collision with Alonso there. So, a bit of drama. Everyone's going to change tyres. Even the ones who have just changed are probably going to change again, I would imagine. Okay, well, both of our drivers are going to go onto a brand new set of softs. We're just having to stop them earlier than planned, so we'll just have to be, as I said, a little bit careful. This will sort out our fuel. We'll have a surplus of fuel. We should hopefully refill our batteries as well.
The restart is moments away as the race continues.
And you can see we're starting first and third.
It's lights out and away we go.
We can drop the lifter coaster.
And
later.
yeah, so Gasly and Leclerc stayed on the mediums that they've just put on, as did Stroll. Everyone else, though, has switched to soft, so we might see Gasly and Leclerc getting swallowed up here. And this does potentially mean that hostilities between our two drivers will be resumed. Trying not to push the tyres because they've got to do extra laps than I had originally planned them to do. As Russell fights off Charles Leclerc and is now looking to find a way past Gasly. Put both of my drivers into top-up mode. Just let the fuel do the talking to start with.
To be some great resistance.
I just have to think about getting the pack back up.
Understood.
Tell I've been playing City Skylines too much. I saw Bono's name pop up there and I thought it said Bobbington for a second there, not Bobbington. So this has really helped out Sainz, because Sainz is now currently running in P5 on brand new soft tyres. Where is Yuki? Yuki's in 8th, Albon's up to 10th, so Williams have got 2 in the top 10 right now. And they're both on soft as well. don't know what's going to happen to Gasly. I think Leclerc's going to be fine. Gasly might struggle for pace, at least in these opening, in the next 10 laps or so. But as the soft tyres start to drift away, he might start coming back at people. Now we're going to push the batteries again, because DRS will be kicking in at the end of the next lap. That's our scheduled pit stop. We're going to ignore that now. Again, we're not pushing the tyres because we've got to make them last. But with a compound and car advantage, we should be able to break Gasly with Lewis, and then it'll be easy pickings for Russell, theoretically, whose confidence should be looking pretty healthy. Yep, very high confidence. There's Lewis. Slightly lower on the confidence. Another yellow flag. We've got a VSC. Another crash.
Exit turn up. So we've got a debris on the track.
Okay, so has that gone to full safety?
As they head round Piratella, you can see how tight it is.
And that's Nico
And the
Hulkenberg.
contact between the cars,
Oh, no, it's Kevin Magnussen.
inevitable. And I don't think there's a lot of doubt as to which
I
car
thought it said
came
27
off
on
worse
front
there.
of the car, not 20. Which Alpha was that? Was that Bottas or was that Zhou? I didn't see. It's Zhou. Zhou's out. It has become a full safety car. So, okay, let's keep pushing the fuel.
Just look for debris.
Because we're going to end up with an absolute bucket load of spare fuel now. Only about 5 laps of spare fuel by the time this safety car comes in. But this will help look after the tyres. Give us a little bit more flexibility with these softs now. And it will bunch the field right back up again. And that was a penalty for Magnussen, who is in the box, serving that penalty and changing his front wing and also his tyres, I'm guessing. Yep, another set of softs going on. Yeah, that's very weird. I'm sure that rear wing, that front wing said 69 on it for a second then. It says 20 now. I've sworn that said 69 on it as it was going on the car. Brand new softs for Kevin Magnussen. And he should be able to catch up before the safety car comes back in again. No, Farah leaves and it all kicks off. 2 retirements, a red flag, a safety car. Oh, Joe got the penalty. Yes, he did. So that'll be a 3-place penalty in qualifying at the next Grand Prix, which is Monaco. Oh, that's the worst place to get a penalty. Mr. Otto, you need to get on the blower and get Farah back in. He's missing out on all the drama. Russell's back in with a shout at the win again. Evening missing pass. laps have we got left? We're on lap 45. 19 laps, including this one. There's a safety car coming in this lap. The whole field is back together again. No, we're going another lap. So we're going to have 17 laps of racing then. So I'm assuming that the safety car comes in at the end of the next lap. Let's have a look down the order. So it's Leclerc in fourth, ahead of Sainz in fifth. Leclerc on those mediums, don't forget. Then Max, Alonso, Tsunoda, Ocon, Albon, Stroll, Norris, Schumacher, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Piastri, Ricciardo, and Magnussen bringing the rear. Two retirements, Guanyu Zhou, who was just taken out in a collision with Magnussen, and Perez, who was in a collision with... I forget who it was now. Who hit Perez? Or who did Perez hit? Was it Williams? Was it Yuki? I think it was Yuki. Obviously that caused the red flag. This last crash from Zhou brought out the safety car, which should be coming in just a few corners. It's staying at another lap. It is, unless it's a very late warning. It does occasionally do that, but usually it does that when you hit, gives you the notice when you hit the final sector. So we are doing another lap, so that's down to 16 laps of running at full pace. Again, assuming it comes in at the end of this lap. Who knows? Maybe we're going to finish the race into the safety car. That would be funny and disastrous for us, because we said we were going to guarantee a 1-2, and that would say goodbye to quite a lot of potential sponsor money with a triple payout. These tyres are definitely going to be fine for the end of the race now. As you can see, we've gained quite a nice little bit of extra grip or extra life in those tyres by not thrashing them and having these few laps running at the lowest pace setting. We could potentially have looked after them a little bit better if we were looking after fuel as well. Having some more lift and coast rather than really shortening that braking distance, but so much extra fuel, we're never going to burn it all off. And we're going to at least not overburden the car with way more fuel than this. If we were on fuel saving, there we go, there's the notice, safety car coming in.
Safety car in this
If we hadn't been burning fuel, by extending the by shortening the braking distance, then we would probably be on at least 6 kilos of fuel, maybe even 7 kilos of fuel in full fuel save behind that safety car. And that's a lot of extra weight. we've got enough tyre to justify a lap of increased tyre pace.
Second car is in.
See if we can sprint away from Gasly and see if Russell can sprint away from Leclerc.
Push.
Understood.
And he is definitely trying to go with George. Need to get past Gasly. You can have a look in the chicane. No, tucks back in. Leclerc all over the back of him. Here's a chance. Pulls back into the slipstream. Hamilton has got the gap up to 1.4 seconds already. Right, we're almost out of battery already. New fastest lap for Lewis Hamilton. Come on, George, find a way round. Leclerc is very close and it worries me. There we go, gets him up the inside of Toaster. Use what's left of the battery to out drag him up the hill. And we're through. And immediately he starts extending that gap. So, Hamilton's killed his battery.
Understood.
George has killed his battery, but he's got the gap up to about a second. He's just about, I think, broken the DRS. It's going to be very close indeed. Did he get it?
Just reduce your speed.
Yeah, copy, all good.
He did get the gap up. Oh wait, no. DRS wasn't even active anyway. But we've got enough of a gap now. The two medium runners are sitting in third and fourth, separating us from the rest of the soft-tyred cars. So we can continue to keep pushing away from them. They should act as a nice little roadblock for everyone else on the potentially faster car setup. So we're going to keep an eye on Gasly for the next couple of laps. Now that teams are starting to calm their cars down after the push, we should see the soft tyre runners start to close that gap back up again. Russell needs to drop into medium because I do not want him taking out Lewis. They can fight each other, but they can't kill each other. Them's the rules. Right, Jean goes side by side and easily gets past Gasly there. That puts him up with the P3. And I think that is probably him going to hold on to that position as well. George is closing the gap to Lewis ever so slightly. Closed about a tenth on that last lap. If he gets some DRS range, then it's game on between those two. It's come down by another tenth. Confidence levels. It's Lewis. It's George, and George has got the higher confidence because he's got the overtake on Gasly. He is closing. He is going to get DRS range on the next lap. Come back, Fowler, you're missing it. There we go, 12 laps to go, including this one, and it is game on. Ah, there he is. Were you lurking the whole time, or did Mr. Water come get you? On both drivers a little hot right now. I'd like to maybe cool them down a touch. No, you're just lurking in the background. Let's get through this main straight first, and then I'm going to drop both drivers down the tyre pace just to preserve the tyres and control the temps. We've still got a pace advantage over Leclerc, so we may as well look after the engines a little bit in the process of letting them fight.
There seems to be some great resistance.
There we go. Keep them both on the same settings so that it's fair between them. They've got the same amount of battery, the same amount of fuel, the same amount of tyre life.
Make sure to keep these tyres in good nick.
Same pace settings.
Yep.
Same driver instructions. Verstappen has got past... Tsunoda's got past Alonso. And he's on the back of Verstappen now. As George is going to go through into the lead. Surprised we didn't get a very loud George, come on, from him. He shouts down the microphone. So, 10 laps to go, and it's now George with the advantage. We know how good he is at defending on this track, because he was the wall last year. Can he do it again this year? Can he hold up Lewis for the rest of the race? Leclerc is holding up Sainz. Gasly is holding up Verstappen. Tsunoda's holding up... Oh no, Tsunoda's broken away from Alonso. Alonso is holding up Ocon. There's little two-man fights up and down the grid here. Who do we look at? This is Sainz having a run at Leclerc. Sainz on softs, Leclerc on mediums. And there's the fight behind for Verstappen and Gasly. Gasly on the mediums, Verstappen on the softs. Sainz needs a result here. We've seen what happens when the Ferraris get close to each other. They have a tendency to collide. Hamilton frustrated again.
Just keep it up.
George just holding the inside line at Tosa there. We got scrapped up and down the field. This is where we need split screen action, I think. They need to have like a picture-in-picture to follow multiple fights. Gasly is creeping onto the back of Sainz. The two Ferraris are slowing each other down in the fight. Well, maybe not. He's trying to get on the back of him. If he gets the DRS, it protects him from Verstappen. Russell holds back Sainz again, and not Sainz, sorry, Russell holds back Hamilton as Sainz throws it up the inside. Can he out-drag his teammate here? Side by side, get the inside line for Tosa. And, they're still side by side. The likelihood of coming together between these two cars increases with every corner that they stay side by side. Sainz has the inside line, but this means Leclerc is going to have the DRS on the main straight. All that hard work Sainz has done is going to be for naught. As he gets ahead, finally closes the door, and Leclerc just opens his rear wing and is going to have a try and take that position straight back again. Meanwhile, Russell still holding off Hamilton. Hamilton looking for the inside at Tosa. Again, George closes the door. Leclerc all over the back of his teammate. Verstappen all over the back of Gasly. Oh, what drama we're getting in the closing stages of the race here. Take a look at tyre wear. You can see Verstappen's tyres are really starting to struggle. They're below 50%. Gasly's tyres are in amazing condition. But then he's not been stuck behind anybody. He's been ahead of us. Hamilton again failed to get past Russell. And then was never really in contention to stay with us once we got past him. And then he was ahead of Verstappen, and he stayed ahead of Verstappen. Verstappen's tyres are overheating. Gasly's tyres are doing fine. Leclerc's tyres are overheating a little bit now that he's stuck in the dirty air. Trying to find a way through. Gaps are starting to increase just a little bit between the two Ferraris. Verstappen is all over the side of him. Hamilton again frustrated by Russell, cannot find a way through. Max looking for a switch to the inside maybe? No, stays tucked up in the wheel tracks there.
So 5 laps remain.
5 laps to go. Hamilton's making a move. And he swoops on through. So now George has to take that position back. We're going to tell them they've got all the battery to play about with, not most of it. Leclerc is struggling to stay with Sainz now, and Max has got past Gasly. We missed it. But Max is through. But how much life has he got left in those tyres? Can he challenge the Ferraris? Or is Leclerc and stay comfortably ahead? Is Gasly going to jump him on the main straight again? I think that's probably more like... He might get it before then now. Look at this. Having a look at the inside of the chicane. Can't quite get there in the braking. Tyres are about to get cold. That's fine. Not worried about that at all. We've got a yellow flag. Please tell me that's not my drivers. No, they're both moving. It's Yuki running wide. Oh, Yuki.
This one is involving Yuki Tsunoda. And they
he's
just
all right
can't
there.
keep on the
That's
track.
fine. I want to see Yuki get a decent points finish here today. Yeah, trying to stick one on his former teammate here. Can't quite get the move done. And Leclerc is really struggling to stay on the back of Sainz. He almost dropped out of DRS range there. He just came back in through the sweepers. But we're going to turn our attention back to Russell. It's reigning world champion versus current championship leader. Just status quo at the moment. Max is not catching the Ferraris. He's now 3 seconds off the back of them. I think he's going to be lucky if he can hold back Gasly, to be honest. As Leclerc gets back in front, just of Carlos. That was so close. They went side by side through the first chicane and he closed it down on the exit there. As Sainz's tyres starting to go. Take a look at 43. Yeah, Verstappen's tyres are gone.
We're happy with the temps.
Copy.
Russell just 2/10 down. DRS is going to open up wide. 2 laps to go.
And 2 more laps.
Hamilton's got him covered. If you've got nails and you're a George fan, now's the time to start biting away. Likewise, if you're a Lewis fan, I suppose. And Leclerc's almost gapped Sainz. It is looking like Leclerc is going to be able to hang on for that podium. Gasly is all over the back of Max. I want to have a look, but I don't want to break away from this fight. This is the last real opportunity. I mean, you could still maybe make the move in a couple of other places, but this is his last best opportunity. He's going to go around the outside at turn 1. Side by side through the chicane. He's got his wheels alongside. Oh, Lewis closes the door. The Farah is stabbing the Hamilton voodoo dolls. so close for George. He almost managed to pull it off there. He's still got one or two places he can have a lunge into the chicane and into the last two turns. But that was his best chance, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He's close. He's not going to get him into the chicane. Can he get him into the last two turns? It's not close enough. Oh, Lewis locks up! Lewis locks up in dramatic fashion.
Look at the Mercedes.
Looks like that frantic stabbing of the voodoo doll has worked. Look at
Very
this.
heavy on the
A
brakes.
huge
But
lockup.
that's just the risk you
Such
take.
pressure
The later you leave
from George all the way through. He does get back on track in time to get second place, but what a recovery from Russell. Aided with a red flag and a safety car, but back up to get in contention.
And coming in first, it's George Russell.
Someone asked me a couple of races ago, how often does Hamilton make mistakes? I said not very often, but when he does, they are spectacular. George Russell gets win number 4 for his season. Lewis losing it on the last two turns.
So that's P2.
What a huge, huge lockup.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, we can do this.
Sounds slightly downcast on the radio. As expected, he did just literally throw away the front, the lead there on the last corner.
I have to say, George Russell looked excellent out there.
It was a truly excellent win, with everything working together for the team and driver.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy
There's
to
a one
forget
single
just what it
Lewis
means to the
Hamilton
whole
mechanic
team.
just standing there with his arms folded going.
And right now it's the British driver who proudly takes his place on the podium.
It gets even better for the team, with both drivers scoring a podium finish this weekend.
Well, Formula One certainly feels at home in Italy, and it looks like those three feel right at home too. And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
And that's about it for our time here in Imola.
For the next Grand Prix, make sure you join us at the renowned city circuit of Monaco. Prepare yourselves for one of the most legendary rounds of the season.
Ah, what a Grand Prix. It started off looking like it was going to be just a boring old cakewalk, very, very easy for us, and then everything changed with the red flag. Huge shunt for Perez, bringing out that, initially bringing out a VSC, which then very quickly turned into a full red. And then not long after the restart, we had a full course safety, a full safety car, which bunched the field back up again. And then what a dramatic fight, not just for the lead, but between the two Ferraris, between Gasly and Max. And Pierre did get Max. I can't even speak. Gasly did get Max on the final lap. He got back through and took 5th place from Verstappen there. Yuki hanging on for 7th, Ocon in 8th. And then Stroll and Alonso bringing up the last of the points-paying positions. If we look a little bit further down, there we can see a great result for Norris, considering he started at the back of the grid, 11th, but he just misses out on points by less than half a second as well. Very, very close. Norris up to 12th place, Hulkenberg in 13th, and Magnussen down in 16th. Bit of a race to forget for Haas, really, especially with the nightmare double pit stop they tried, which just went horribly wrong. And then we got Bottas up a couple of places. Schumacher and Ricciardo both dropping down from where they started. Piastri still languishing at the back of the grid with those horribly poor stats that the devs decided to give him for some reason. Lewis does take the fastest lap in this Grand Prix, but it is the win for George. Take a look at the driver standings. So you can see it was actually win number 5 for George and his 6th podium. 1 pole position and 2 fastest laps to his name. He's on 152 points and is now 25 points clear of Lewis in second, who has just the 1 win. I thought Lewis had 2. I'm thinking of the sprint, of course, because Lewis won the sprint. 6 podiums apiece for our drivers. They've both finished on the top 2 steps at all 6 races so far. 4 fastest laps for Lewis. Max stays in third in the Drivers' Championship, gaining 8 points. No points for Perez, thanks to his massive crash into the barriers. Leclerc closes the gap to just 3 points with his 3rd place finish there. And Ocon jumps ahead of Stroll. Gasly jumps ahead of Alonso. So a real little ding-dong fight going on between Alpine and Aston Martin at the moment. And Carlos Sainz still in 10th. Some good points for him. Brings him to within 2 of Fernando. But he's still a long way down the order in the Drivers' Championship. Let's take a look at the Constructors. Mercedes with another maximum 44. Puts them on 279 points. We are now 145 points clear of Red Bull, who only managed to get 8 points this weekend. So they are really dropping back alarmingly quick. Ferrari jumped 2 places in the standings with their points haul here tonight, thanks to that podium. Their first podium of the season. Alpine are just ahead of Aston Martin by 2 points. Aston Martin have dropped 2 places. They were in 3rd. They're now down in 5th after a disappointing result for them. Good points for Williams. They're up to 12 points. They doubled their points tally in this race and jumped them clear of McLaren and Haas. And still the 2 Alphas yet to score, Romeo and Tauri. Let's take a look at the pit stop challenge. So we did get the fastest 2 pit stops. Once again, we're not massively faster on average than the rest of the field. We haven't had many 2.0 stops in the last couple of races. We've been doing 2.1s. So it's good to get back to the 2.0s again. Do need to work on our pace a little bit more, perhaps. The rest of the field are starting to close us in terms of time. But we are still knocking out a lot of good points early on in the pit stop competition. That's going to be worth a lot of money at the end of the season. 258 so far. We are 122 points clear of Red Bull. And there you can see the fastest stop, a 2.081 second stop for George. Lewis's stop just 42 thousandths slower. Let's take a look at the driver stats. So, George, 15 successful overtakes, 28 failed overtakes, 17 successful defences, 9 failed. Not quite a repeat of his Imola performance last season, but still enough to get him the win. And there you can see Lewis, 12 successful overtakes, 17 failed, 21 successful defences, only 6 failed, but then he did also fail to brake for the last 2 turns as well. So yeah, that's what happened there. We got some experience for Teo as well, another good weekend showing for him. And in terms of sponsors, big payouts. We had some performance targets that we hit. We hit all of our incentives. And then with our guarantees, we got some nice cash there. Doesn't look like it's been tripled, though, does it? It's supposed to be tripled. Why hasn't it been tripled? Says payout increased ×3 for successful sponsor guarantees. Well, we made a successful sponsor guarantee and it didn't pay out, apparently. Those sneaky sponsors, they came in, they drank all our bubbly, They ate the cucumber sandwiches and they pissed off without giving us the money. Cheeky bastards. Let's see, the F2 and F3 results are in. Let's take a quick look at the standings in those. So, into the sprint race, it was Enzo Fittipaldi ahead of Arthur Leclerc and Roman Staniak on the podium. Isaac Hadjar in 4th, Crawford in 5th, Paul Aaron 6th, Oliver Behrman in 7th, Pepe Martin 8th. Quite a few of the drivers that you would expect to see not there because they've now progressed into Formula 1 and are reserve drivers. Let's have a look at the sprint. Oliver Behrman gets, the main race. Oliver Behrman gets the win ahead of Gabriele Mini. Enzo Fittipaldi getting back on the podium again, getting 4 places. Good result for him. Ahead of Victor Martins, Pepe Marti, Isaac Hadjar, Jack Crawford, Kush Maini, Roman Staniak and Sebastian Montoya rounding up the top 10. In the F3 standings, Christian Mansell getting the sprint win. And Gregoire Sauce getting the main win as well as the fastest lap as well. Alright, anything else in the inbox to look at? Inspection results. We have a couple of failed parts. We destroyed an underfloor, another one failed, so I think we've got no underfloors now. And we also lost a rear wing as well. Let's go to our cars and try and fix those if we can. Okay, we have got spare underfloors. They're the last 2 underfloors on that second spec. Okay, let's check the warehouse. So we have got an underfloor project going through. It's 19 days away. Hopefully we won't need to replace an underfloor. I'm not going to make one. I'm going to risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. See if we can get through without having to make any extra side pods. We could probably do with making another couple of side pods. Oh, we've got a couple going through, as you can see. Front wings are going through. Suspensions. We could probably look at maybe making some suspensions again. Those are going through as well. So we shouldn't have to make anything else for a little while, I hope. We're up to 5.7 million. I am going to go ahead now, while I have the money available, and buy those parts for Lewis's powertrain that he's going to need. So he's going to need a new ERS unit. That is a given because he's only got one left already. So we'll go ahead and buy that while we have the money for it. We were also going to need to get him at least one more gearbox, but we can't buy that yet because we haven't used this 4th one yet, so we'll have to make sure we run that at least in qualifying in Monaco for 1 round, just so that we can unlock the ability to buy a new gearbox. And I might need to buy him a new engine as well, but we'll hold off on that. I do think that George will probably need a new ERS at some point as well. So we're going to go ahead and buy George a second ERS unit now. Again, while we have the money available. There we go. We're down to 718,000 again. So let's advance time. We won't actually pay the penalty on those until we put them in the car and use them for the first time. So, you know, we've got them. We're just going to choose where and when we actually use them. But we don't have to pay for them in the future, which is good. Our wind tunnel refurb is complete. Excellent. Let's have a look. And our race sim will be refurbished in 2 days as well. Our design centre needs a refurb. That's 4.5 mil that we don't have anymore. That's going to have to wait. Staff facilities, the team hub, I'd like to get that final upgrade in, but again, we don't have 6.5 million available. Boardroom doesn't need to be upgraded yet, they are fine. You know, if they're not delighted with 1-2s, you know, for the first 6 races of the season, then I don't think a new shiny executive office is going to change things that much. Everything else is okay. Hospitality is about to drop down to 80%, but that's fine. And then we can see the wind tunnel back up to its projected, you know, performance. And there we go. We are ready for Monaco, which is tomorrow night's race. So, what a dramatic end to tonight's race. Bit bland, bit boring for the first half of the race, and then everything changed with that red flag. It brought the whole field back together again, gave everybody who hadn't already stopped a free pit stop, including us, which was nice. We had both our drivers back up near the front of the grid again, first and third on the restart. Then we had a full safety just a few laps after the restart. That bunched everything back up again after we'd just broken away. But it gave us time to look after the tyres and recharge those batteries again. It did unfortunately also give us a ton more fuel than we actually needed. But yeah, after the restart, dramatic fighting between our two drivers, between the two Ferraris, between Max and Gasly, all the way to the flag. And then a dramatic final couple of corners. Lewis throwing it away. Gasly getting back past Max for 5th place. And the Ferraris just fighting each other the whole time. Great finish to the race. I wonder if we'll see any kind of drama like that in Monaco. Be sure to tune in at the same time as always, 9 PM UK time tomorrow night to find out. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's race. If you have, consider dropping a like. And if you're new to the channel, why not think about maybe subscribing as well. And I will see you all with some more F1 Manager very soon.